Out from fall camp, and fresh off of word yesterday that it looks like Raekwon Davis will be eligible to play this year, and they feel good about Jamar King. How big is that potentially for this year's defensive line rotation?
It's huge. It's huge. I really separate the defensive line into three groups on the current roster, which is the four. You have the group one is the four proven really good players: Jonathan Allen, Dalvin Tomlinson, Daron Payne, and Deshaun Hand. They've played with the first team in big games. They've played well. We know they're good players. Group two is the returning veterans who have not played much. They've been on the team for a while, but for various reasons, they haven't been on the field very much. That's Dakota Ball, O.J. Smith, Josh Frazier, and Johnny Dwight. I think that group's a real question mark. I think the spring didn't really answer those questions in terms of can anyone from that group help the first group? And if they can't, then you have to turn to the third and final group, which is the newcomers: Jamar King, Raekwon Davis, and Quinnen Williams. Possibly Torrell Hall plays defensive line. But the fact of the matter is, having Raekwon and Jamar here is huge because that second group I discussed didn't really prove themselves in the spring, and it's still sort of a big question mark going into the fall camp.
Talking with Jimmy Stein, you can follow him on Twitter at LJSLaw. What's the deal with Josh Frazier? He was a guy that was, highly recruited out of Arkansas, and a lot of expectations for him. And from what I've heard, there's a lot of, issues with his conditioning and his, I guess, from that maybe his work ethic. Why do you think, what is holding Josh Frazier back from getting into that next group that you talked about?
He has looked a little heavy. I think being heavy and out of condition is certainly the top theory. That's what makes the most sense, because when you watch his tape as a high school player, he was really not just a good prospect, Aaron. I thought he was a fantastic prospect. I expected him to play as a true freshman and be a significant player, maybe be a three-and-done guy. I mean, he looked great on tape, but like so many kids, though, there's an adjustment, and I think adjusting to the SEC, adjusting to being on the field where every player he goes up against in practice is as good as he is, it's an adjustment for a lot of kids, and I think it just hasn't happened as quickly as we hoped it would happen for him, but he's reportedly in the best condition of his career at Alabama. This is a heck of an opportunity for him. Alabama recruits so well at the defensive line position. The problem is when you get an opportunity to earn a spot in the rotation, you better take advantage of it, because the next wave of freaks could pass you up, when they show up after the next signing day. So if Josh is going to make a move, it really has to be this fall for him, and hopefully it will, because Alabama needs the help. They can't just do it with four guys.
Speaking with Jimmy Stein, the new recipient of his own radio show in WNSP in Mobile, we're talking about a little bit defensive backs today, and I think a lot of people are just assuming that Minkah Fitzpatrick will slide in and take that cornerback spot that left open by Cyrus Jones. But Anthony Averett was a guy who really kind of quietly made a move during spring. Any chance that he's the starter this year?
Yeah, I think there's an excellent chance that it could work out that way. For one reason only, Minkah Fitzpatrick sort of proved last year he wasn't just ready for the SEC. He was ready to be a star player in this league. So we know Minkah will be out there. But it seems that Minkah is also a guy they would like to keep at star. Most of the big plays Minkah made last season when he was a standout true freshman, most of those plays he made was from the star position when Alabama was in its nickel personnel package. So if Minkah is going to remain the star, that means Alabama needs a new cornerback. And in the spring, it appeared that person will be Anthony Averett, from the way he played this spring. And he's the fastest kid on the team, or certainly in a short list among the fastest guys on the team. He's got great natural cornerback skills. I was really surprised with how he looked in the spring. I think he's come a long way since he's been on campus. Sort of a developmental guy, like we were just about Josh Frazier. Maybe it didn't happen for him until later in his career, like it sort of happened with Anthony. Now he's about to be a junior and just looks like a different kid.
Talking to Jimmy Stein, you can follow him on Twitter at LJSLaw. We're 2 days away from Alabama opening fall camp, and we still don't have a crystal clear indication of what Maurice Smith is going to do. From what I've heard, he's still waiting to graduate before he can make that graduate transfer, and I don't think he graduates until a few days from now. What do you think is going to happen with this situation? It's one of the more